Okay.
Please start, ma'am.
Post disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, 1 second. I'll enable. Yeah, now you can do it.
Okay, good evening, students. I think the last topic we did was about hydrosphere. So today we will start something with biosphere. We will start. So what is biosphere is the most important topic we have to talk about. What is biosphere? That means what are major biomes? What is a biome? First of all, you should know the definition of a biome. It can be defined as a large biological community or an ecosystem where different types of living organisms, including plants, animals, birds, and insects, and humans are used to live in a certain type of climatic condition that is called as a biome. So, everything that means what are all called as the living things or the living organisms are there. This is called as the biome. Next, you have the world comprises a huge diversity of the types of environments which are divided and grouped into different types of biomes and are mainly based on the adaptations, range of temperature, weather, and climatic conditions. So, what is this? Is that the entire world will consist of different types of environments. And how are these environments divided? Like we have learned in climatology, we have learned in many other ways that because of our latitudinal and longitudinal as well as different hemispheres we are living in, so we will be having different types of temperatures, weather as well as climatic conditions also. And according to that, how do we adapt? Adaptation is how human beings and all the living organisms adapt themselves to different conditions. Like for example, if you take Siberia. Siberia is a very cold desert. So there are certain animals over there which can survive only in that particular climatic condition. Suppose if you bring them from there and try to make them live in India, they may not survive. So adaptation is that where you are trying to adapt yourself to the existing temperature, weather, and the climatic conditions. So the word biome was suggested by an ecologist by name Frederick Edward Clements. This is the name you have to remember in the year 1916, which referred to the word biotic community. So, what are the kinds of biomes we have is rainforest, taiga region, temperate deciduous forest, grasslands, desert, and tundra. These are all called as a various kinds of biomes we have in a country. So what is a biome is where all the living organisms will be living, and the word, and also it depends upon the adaptation, what is the range of the temperature, what is the weather, and what are the climatic conditions. Okay, the word biome is suggested by an ecologist. Who is an ecologist? Who is called as an ecologist?
A person who studies environment. No?
Very good. Ecologist is a person who will be talking about the balance. We call something as ecological balance. What is an ecological balance is that where we are able to balance the nature and the human activities together and trying to live in a coordinated manner. Okay, so these are the various kinds of biomes you have, which you call it as, hello? మ్యామ్ నేను మళ్ళీ మాట్లాడను కొంచెం పనిలో ఉన్నాను మళ్ళీ మాట్లాడతాను so we have rainforest. You must have heard these names, I think. If not, somewhere in your earlier classes you must have at least heard these names, I think, which you call it as rainforest region, tiger region, temperate deciduous. This is we have done in natural vegetation also. So grasslands, desert, and the tundra. So there are various types of biomes. The exact number of biomes in the world is not known. That means we do not have any correct number as such. How many are there? We do not know. Include the biomes double S over there. It is deserts, different types of forests, polar regions, national parks, bird sanctuaries, zoos, aquatic life, and a lot more. So when you take biome, these are all the things which can be included. By the way, what is the difference between a desert and a forest? Can anyone tell me what is the difference between a desert and a forest?
Ma'am, desert doesn't contain vegetation, ma'am.
Okay, and forest will consist of different types. That means depending upon the location. Very good. Depending upon the location where it is located, accordingly the vegetation also differs as such. So, and you have polar regions also, which are all located in the pole, south pole, north pole, we call it as, where the temperatures are very freezing. Then you have the national parks, then you have the bird sanctuaries. What is a national park? National parks are protected areas by the government where you have something called as reserved forests, which are protected. That means in natural vegetation, when I was talking about, I said that the trees or the species of plants which are on the verge of extinction. What is extinction now?
Ma'am, if the the population goes below 1,000, I think so, ma'am.
No, what do you mean by extinction? Means when the number of plants are getting withered or cut down, and if you don't protect them, you will not find those species again. Like, for example, it can be animals, it can be plants also. So, national parks are those where they try to protect those species of plants and animals which are on the verge of extinction or they are going into the range of extinction. So, you have bird sanctuaries. Bird sanctuaries are, these also are protected. That means the birds which are on the verge of extinction, they try to go for sanctuaries and protect them. And you all know about the zoos, and aquatic life is all the animal which is there, which are found in the water, and a lot more. So there is no specific number how many biomes are there or something like that. Then, based on the certain similarities and to make the classification simpler, the biomes are main groups according to the predominant vegetation and characterized by adaptation of organisms. So, in order to make it very, very simple, they are mainly groups which are according to the predominant vegetation. Just now I told you that, like for example, you have the evergreen forest, you have the moist deciduous forest, you have the dry deciduous forest, you have thorn forest. These are all the different types of forests we have. Why do you give that name? Is that it is depending upon the type of vegetation that is found in those particular forests or areas, and they are always characterized by adaptations of the organisms. Like I told you now, depending upon the climatic conditions, how do the plants, that means certain plants can grow in certain areas. Like for example, apples can be grown only in Jammu and Kashmir or in Shimla or in Himachal Pradesh. They cannot be grown in Andhra Pradesh. That is very simple because they get adapted over there only. Same way you have something called as the zebra and all that. Where do you find them? Only in the cold areas you will find them, not anywhere else as such. So depending upon the adaptation of the plants and the animals, the biomes will be grouped. So India is bestowed with a wide range of flora and fauna. I hope you all know the difference between flora and fauna. Flora, fauna. Flora is the plants and fauna is the animals. So we have a wide diversity of plants and animals that are found in our country. Due to a diverse geographical and climatic conditions, an extensive range of natural vegetation grows in India. That means we have a lot of geographical conditions and climatic conditions because in our country we have the Himalayas, we have the coastal plains, we have the plateaus, we have the plains, we have the deserts. Wide range of geographical and different climatic conditions are there. We have dry conditions, we have wet conditions, we have cold conditions, different conditions are there. That means extensive range of geographical and climatic conditions, as a result of which our natural vegetation is also very, very rich. That means name a plant, name a flower, it is found in our country. Approximately, there are about number of plant species and flower species and also the animal species that are found. So what are the types of natural vegetation that is found in our country? Tropical evergreen rainforest, deciduous monsoon type of forest, dry deciduous forest, mountain forest, tidal or mangrove. Can anyone tell me where do you find mangrove forests in our country? Which state?
West Bengal.
Very good. West Bengal. West Bengal has Sundar, you call it as Sundarbans also. And you have a tree called as the Sundarbans are named after that tree only. Sundari tree. It is called as a Sundari tree. That's why they are called as a Sundarbans. The Sundari tree is found and the Royal Bengal tiger is found in Sundarbans. Yeah, you must have heard about that. Then you have semi-desert and desert vegetation. So now let us see where do you find these climatic conditions. First, if you take tropical evergreen rainforest, they are found in the areas where the precipitation. What do you mean by precipitation here? Rainfall. If the rainfall, wherever the rainfall is more than 200 centimeters, you will find this tropical evergreen rainforest. So where are they found? They are mostly found in the northeastern regions. What are the northeastern regions? Are the Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Assam, Nagaland, Western Ghats, the Tarai area of the Himalayas, and Andaman groups of islands. That means all these areas will be receiving a rainfall of 200 centimeters. That is the reason why you find tropical evergreen rainforests. They are also found in the hills of Kashi and Jaintia. You must have heard about the Kashi hills where you find the Moss syndrome. Moss syndrome is the wettest place in the world, which is located in the Kashi hills and also in the Jaintia hills. The trees in this area have intense growth naturally because the rainfall is very heavy. You find that they are having a very close and dense vegetation is found here. So what are the major trees? So when you are learning about the forest or the natural vegetation, first thing is that the rainfall, which states they are found, and also what are the trees and animals that are found. So 3 to 4 points for each forest is compulsory. Rainfall, and then you also talk about the states where they are found and the trees and the animals which are grown in those particular forests. So what are the major trees that are found there? Sandalwood, rosewood, mahogany, bamboo. These are very important. You have to remember these 4 names. At least if you remember sandalwood, rosewood, and mahogany. You have heard about rosewood, you know? Rosewood, recently movie also has come. How many of you have watched that movie?
Ma'am, I saw, ma'am.
Pushpa. You have
Yes,
seen
ma'am.
only
I listened to the story, ma'am.
Yeah, that is rosewood. Rosewood is a very, very costly wood. That means all these woods, if you talk about sandalwood, rosewood, teak wood, these are all very costly woods. That teak wood is considered to be equal to gold. That is what they say. One teak wood door will go on for 100 years without any depreciation in the value. Same way, rosewood also is the same. So these are the important ones. So it has a copious vegetation of all kinds, trees, shrubs, creepers. That means not only trees, it also has trees, shrubs, creepers, giving it a multi-layered structure. So these are the plants. What are the animals? Elephants, monkey, lemur are the common animals which are found in these particular areas. Clear with this tropical evergreen forest? Next, we'll go to deciduous monsoon type of forest. So you should remember both the names. Deciduous is also called as monsoon type of forest. So what are deciduous forests are? The deciduous forests are found in the lower slope of the Himalayas, that is West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Bihar, Odisha, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, and the adjoining. So these are all found here, and the precipitation is ranging between 100 and 200 centimeters. Teak is the most dominant species seen in this particular area, along with deodar. Then you have gum, sandalwood, sal is also a very important one, ebony and bamboo. These are all the important trees. So in this you will be learning mainly deodar, gum, then you have sal, sandalwood, ebony. Others also you can remember not, but these are the main things that are found in the deciduous or the monsoon type of forest. The trees in this forest shed their leaves. What do you mean by shedding the leaves? We see that during the winter season, all the trees will be losing their leaves and again the new leaves will come in. But this does not happen in the tropical evergreen forest. There is no shedding of the leaves. Here you find that the leaves will be shed by the trees. So during dry winter and dry summer, in both the seasons, they shed their leaves. Based on the availability of the water, these forests are again divided to moist and dry deciduous. So deciduous forests are again divided into dry deciduous and moist deciduous forests, depending upon the availability of the water. If the water is more, they are called as moist deciduous. If the rainfall is less, you call it as a dry deciduous forest. So first we will talk about the dry deciduous forest. These forests grow in areas where the precipitation is between 50 and 100 centimeters. That means moist deciduous 100 to 200 centimeters. Dry deciduous forests are between 50 and 100 centimeters. And these are mainly found in the areas of Central Deccan Plateau, Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and southeast of Rajasthan. So these are the areas which will be receiving less amount of rainfall, that is 50 to 100 centimeters of rainfall. Am I clear with the two types of forest? Can I go to the next one? Now you have mountain forests, or they are also called as montane, M-O-N-T-A-N-E. These are found in the mountains, of course, because they are there in the mountainous areas. They are referred to as the mountain forests only. They differ significantly along the slopes of the mountains. On the foothills of the Himalayas, until a height of 1500 meters, evergreen trees like sal, teak, and bamboo grow very widely. So these mountain forests are found according to the meters and the height of the Himalayas, at which slopes they are found. So in the foothills of the Himalayas, until that means from the sea level to the height of 1500 meters, you find evergreen trees like sal, teak, and bamboo. Then on the higher slope, that is beyond 1500 meters, you find temperate conifer trees like pine, fir, and oak. These are very important. You have to remember the names of all these trees because these are found only in Himalayas. Okay, that means higher slope means above 1500 meters. You have this trees called as conifer trees. They are called as, they are pine, fir, and oak trees. At the higher elevation of the Himalayas, rhododendrons and junipers are found. These are very rare trees that are found, which are found at the higher elevation of the Himalayas, above 3000 meters. They are found. Rhododendrons and junipers. Further than the vegetation zones, alpine grasslands appear up to the snow field. On the snow also you will be finding small grass things. They are called as alpine grasslands, which are found in the mountain forest. Am I clear with that? So 1500, then again you will find a little higher. Then at the 3000 meters, you will be finding these things called as rhododendrons and junipers. Clear? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, then we'll go to the tidal or the mangrove forest. The tidal or the mangrove forest grow by the side of the coast and on the edges of the deltas. These are all found near the deltas only. That is the deltas of the Kaveri, Krishna, Mahanadi, Godavari, and the Ganga. So all on the coastal areas you find the tidal or the mangrove forest, especially the deltas of Kaveri, Krishna, Mahanadi, Godavari, and the Ganga. In West Bengal, these forests are known as Sundarbans. Already I mentioned. The Sundari is the most major tree grown in these forests, and the other important trees of the tidal forests are Pogla, Garan, and Pasur. These are the other, but we will mainly talking about the Sundarbans only. This forest is an important factor in the timber industry as they provide timber and firewood. Palm and coconut trees beautify the coastal strip. You must have seen that all the coconut trees are found in the coastal area. Sometimes they are falling into the river also. Along the coastline, you will be finding the coconut trees and the palm trees also. You will be clear? Mangrove forest. Then you have semi-deserts and desert vegetation. This area receives rainfall of less than 50 centimeters. Naturally, when you are not having more rainfall, it is called as desert vegetation. Thorny bushes, acacia, and babul. These are the important vegetation found here. And the Indian wild date is generally found here. You must have known about dates. You know the dates. So dates, you must be having dates.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
here.
Yes, ma'am.
It is called as Karjuram. Yeah, that is the most one which is found in the desert vegetation here. They have long roots and thick flesh. The plants found in this region store water in their stem to endure during the drought. You all know this in biology, you will be learning that usually they have very long roots and thick flesh. The reason is that they usually store the water in the stems. The stems are very thick so that the water can be stored because it is a dry vegetation over there. And even during the drought also, these trees will not die. So for example, in our houses, if we don't water for 2 3 days, the plants may die or they may become dried up. But this does not happen here because they try to store the water in the stems. Okay, these vegetation are mostly found in Gujarat, Punjab, and Rajasthan. Obviously, mostly it is found in Gujarat. It is called as Run of Kutch. You must have heard about Run of Kutch in Gujarat. And then you have Punjab, then you have Rajasthan, that is the Thar desert you have. Okay. Huh. Next you have, there are various types of biomes. The exact number of biomes, huh. Like I told you, the biomes include deserts. This again repeated. Now, different types of biomes are the terrestrial or the land biomes are categorized and termed according to the climatic conditions and the climax vegetation of the region in which they are found. The climax vegetation is also called as a biological community of plants, animals, birds, and other living species that is stable and dominant after numerous years of evolutionary development. Since plants are an important source of nutrition, again it is coming. One second. Okay. Since the plants are an important source of nutrition and the producers in the ecosystem, they determine the nature of the inhabiting animal population. Therefore, climax vegetation governs the animal vegetation. So terrestrial biomes are those which are usually found in the things on the land, on the terrestrial land. So what are the major terrestrial biomes are mainly tundra, desert, savanna, mountains, grasslands, rainforest, taiga, northern conifer forest, Mediterranean scrub forest, and temperate deciduous forest. At least in this, you must have learned about tundra. You must have heard, maybe not learned, but you must have heard about tundra vegetation, desert vegetation, the savannas, the grassland, the rainforest, polar region. Yeah, all these you must have heard at least. Yeah. Now comes aquatic biomes or water biomes. Aquatic, already it is mentioned that water is the most important and essential element among the biological community, and therefore aquatic biomes are the largest and widest biome in the world. There are numerous species of aquatic plants and animals, both large and small. So you find a number of aquatic plants and animals which are grown in the water. So where is it? It is going. According to the taxonomy records, the marine habitats are older than the terrestrial habitats as life originated in the oceans. That means when you are making a difference between terrestrial. So what is the difference between terrestrial and aquatic now? Let me just check how much you are listening to me. Difference between terrestrial biomes and aquatic biomes?
Terrestrial are which are on lands, whereas aquatic biomes are in water.
So this is the major difference, and it is said that they are older. Why are they older? Because the life is first started in the oceans. That is the records. That is what we get the entire research and all that says that as life originated in the oceans about billions of years ago. That is the reason why the aquatic biomes are the plants and animals which are found there are considered to be older than those which are found on the land. Aquatic biomes are the most stable ecosystems on this planet, and with the absence of water, most of the life forms would be unable to sustain themselves, and Earth would be a lifeless and desert-like place. So they are the most stable ecosystem. That means aquatic biomes are those which will consist of water. Now we all know that without water, nothing is possible. And most of the life forms, you talk about plants, you talk about animals, you talk about human beings, nothing can sustain, and Earth also will be desert-like. That is the reason why Earth is considered to be the most important planet in all the planets, because water is not available in any of the planets. It is found only on the Earth. Even though the water temperature varies, the aquatic areas tend to be more humid and the temperature of the air on the cooler. At this also we have learned that most of the time the water temperature varies a little here and there, but still they continue to maintain the balance of temperature. This water biome mainly comprises aquatic plants and animals. The aquatic biome provides a vast array of habitats which support the staggering diversity of species. That means you find a lot number of species of animals and plants which are found in the aquatic life. So, scientists believe that they form the base of aquatic food webs and contribute about 70 to 80% of the oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere. You all know about the food webs. What is a food web? That means they where the other animals will be feeding, or it can be the humans which will be taking the food from them, and they will be contributing to 75 to 70 to 85% of the oxygen in the Earth's surface. That means the aquatic biomes are considered to be very, very important in order to maintain the ecological balance and also to see that life exists on the Earth as such. Okay. Now, coming to terrestrial biomes, the complex biocommunity formed by the adjustment of climate, soil, etc. of a particular region is called as a biome. Forest biome, savanna biome, grassland biome, desert biome, and tundra biome are the 5 terrestrial biomes of the world which are divided on the basis of availability of soil, water, and temperature. So these are the 5 biomes we have: tundra, savanna, grassland, and desert. Okay. Now they are based on what? On the basis of availability of soil, water, and the temperature. Now, what is an evergreen forest? Now, evergreen forest is a type of forest in which there is no complete seasonal loss of leaves and they remain evergreen. That's why they are called as the evergreen, because they never shed their leaves. They are usually found in the areas receiving more than 234 centimeters of rainfall and having a monthly mean temperature of 18 degrees or higher in the coldest months as such. So these are the main features when we are learning about. Where do you find 234 is all those northeastern states, Western Ghats, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. They will be in the category of higher rainfall areas. So that is the reason why you find them there. They are again divided into 4 subgroups called as a tropical evergreen rainforest. That is, it is the found in the equatorial. I'm talking about the world. I'm not talking about India here. I'm talking about these forests. I'm talking about the entire world. So this type of forest is found in the equatorial and the tropical coastal region, because as I told you that equatorial region is the only region which does not have any seasons, because it will be experiencing all the seasons on a single day. Morning is summer, afternoon is rainy, night is winter. That is the reason why it does not have any seasons. And it has the tropical evergreen forest. Around 12% of the Earth's surface is covered with this type of forest. That means out of the total world area, if you take 12% of the surface of the Earth is covered with tropical evergreen rainforest. The trees are mahogany, rosewood, and mangroves. The deltaic regions are found in this forest. So mahogany, rosewood, and mangroves. Mahogany is also a very commercial, valuable wood which is used for commercial purposes usually. Elephant, hippopotamus, wild pigeon, lion, crocodile, and different species of monkey and snakes are found in this forest. The Amazon basin, the Congo basin, the Ghana coast of Africa, Java, and Sumatra are the major regions of this forest. So worldwide, if you take, you should know what are the regions that come under this. The Amazon basin, you all know about Amazon basin. I think it is a place for all types of poisonous things. I think in Amazon basin and in Congo basin, usually the people do not walk because the grass will be covering the entire surface of the earth, and people are frightened to walk on the surface of the earth because either they have insects or either they have poisonous snakes or they have crocodiles. They have all types of animals will be there. So usually the people do not walk over there. They try to. That is the reason why you have all the tribal people over there. You don't find normal people over there, and they will be usually jumping from one tree to another tree as such. So Amazon basin, Congo basin, Guyana coast of Africa, Java, and Sumatra. Okay, these are the main regions of this forest. So you should know which areas come under the tropical evergreen rainforest as far as the world is concerned. Then you have the mid-latitude evergreen forest. This type of forest is found in the rainforest on the eastern coast of the continents in the temperate regions. And what are the areas? Southern China, Japan, Southeast USA, and southern Brazil. There you find this mid-latitude evergreen forest. Then you have the Mediterranean forest. It is found in the western margins of the continent, the temperate regions where rainfall occurs in the winter season. The trees like cork, oak, olive, chestnut, pine, etc. are found in this forest. This type of forest is famous for citrus fruits. Mediterranean region is very famous for all the citrus fruits. Grapes, lemon, orange, pine, pear, pomegranate, chaparral, lavender, and other aroma herbal are famous herbs which are found in this forest. So Mediterranean region is very popular for citrus fruits. Then you have the coniferous forest. This type of forest is found around the North Pole in the mountainous regions of Europe, Asia, and North America. The trees are fir, hemlock, spruce, deodar, and pine. So for every forest, you should know the trees. You should also know the animals. If animals are there, okay, but otherwise, what are the different types of trees that are found in different types of forests? You should know very well. Then you have the deciduous forest. The trees of this forest lose their leaves each year and found in the areas with warm, moist summers and cool winters. It is again further divided to mid-latitude deciduous forest. That is, this type of forest is found in the colder coastal areas, the northeastern USA. Okay, southern Chile are the major regions of this forest. The trees are oak, birch, walnut, maple, ash, chestnut, etc. Tropical deciduous forest, it covers the monsoon regions of Asia, Brazil, Central America, Northern Australia. Sal, teak, and bamboo are the major trees which are found in this forest. Then you have the savanna biome. This type of biome is found in the wet, dry tropical climate. This is the parkland region dominated by grassland and scattered trees. The major region of this biome is Africa, India, Brazil, and the Eastern Australia. This biome is famous with the name of Big Hunter Land and the world famous zoo also. Then you have the grassland. It consists of large rolling terrains of grasses, flowers, and herbs. And it is also called as semi-arid continental grassland, which is called as the Wells in South Africa, Campos in Brazil, Steppe in North America, Europe and Russia. These are the names which are given to the various grasslands. This also you must have heard about. Wells in South Africa, Campos in Brazil, and Steppes. Steppes is very popular in North America also. North America, Europe, and Russia. Okay. Am I clear, children, or am I going very fast?
No, ma'am, you are going okay, ma'am.
Okay. Then the next one we have this type of grassland is found in wet temperate climatic zones. This is called as prairies. This also you must have heard about prairies in North America, pampas in South America, downs in Australia, Canterbury in New Zealand, and pustas in Hungary. These are very popular. Prairies, pampas, downs. These are the different types of grasslands which are found in the wet temperate climatic conditions. Then you have desert biome. This is the naturally destitute of vegetation, only short shrubs, cacti, acacia, and date trees are found in these biomes. Then you have the tundra biome. This type of biome is found in the region beyond 60-degree latitude. The vegetation of this biome is very sparse. Reindeer is the most important animal of this biome. So in tundra, you don't find any vegetation, very, very light vegetation. You find maybe some grass here and there, but otherwise nothing is found here. Next, you have biosphere reserves. The purpose of formation of the biosphere reserve is to conserve all forms of life, okay, along with the support system in its totality, so that it could serve as a referral system for monitoring and evaluating the changes in the natural ecosystem. We call it as the biosphere. Biosphere is where there is a balance between nature and human, and by which we try to coexist with one another. Presently, there are 18 notified bioreserves in India, biosphere reserves in India. 10 out of the 18 biosphere reserves are a part of the World Network of biosphere reserves based on the UNESCO Man and the Biosphere program list. So we have 18 biosphere reserves in our country. A biosphere reserve is an area of land and water that is protected by law in order to support the conservation of ecosystems as well as the sustainability of mankind's impact on the environment. Just now I told you that national parks, bird sanctuaries, biosphere reserves is that where they try to protect the land, the water, the plants and the species so that we will be able to have the sustainability of mankind. Otherwise, we will not have any existence on the earth. So these are all the biosphere reserves of our country. Nanda Devi, Run of Kutch, Pachmarhi, then Agastya Malai, then you have Nilgiri, Seshachalam, Simply Pal, Sundarban, then you have Amarkantak, then you have Achan, this is all same word it is. Then you have the Nanda Devi, then you have the Dihang, Dibang, then Dibru, then Manas. These are all the biosphere reserves. Especially this is a very important one. Agastya Malai, then you have Great Nicobar, Gulf of Mannar, Nilgiri. You must have heard these names, no? Seshachalam, Pachmarhi, Run of Kutch. Then you have a cold desert. Then you have the Nanda Devi. These are all the important biosphere reserves in our country. Okay. Then you have the wildlife sanctuaries. These are all the various wildlife sanctuaries. Then you have the tiger reserves of in India. Why all these are there? Actually, this is not very clear, I think. Let me see if we can. Okay. Maybe the names are not seen properly. Okay. Then you have the tiger reserves you have. Then these are all the tiger reserves you have in our country. Okay. Then you have the International Organization for Biodiversity. I think I will stop here, Shailaja.
Yeah, ma. Yeah.
I'll stop here.
Yeah. When you send the notes, they can enlarge it and they can see.
Yeah,
It will be clear.
Yeah, till here is it okay, children? Any doubts you have? Clear whatever I have said. Main thing in this you have to learn is the forests and the precipitation, animals and the plants which are at least 2-3 if you remember, because it is all MCQs only, you can identify them. Only thing is that you should know properly exactly what is it. Am I clear? Sneha, Yashwini?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? Okay, then.
Okay, ma. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Children, get ready for the presentations tomorrow. You know your topics, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am.
Yeah, tell me, ma.
Last time I messaged you, last week I messaged you, ma'am.
Yeah, syllabus.
Yeah,
I've seen. Could you
yes.
complete that?
Actually, ma'am, I am completing environment, ma'am. Unfortunately, I messaged you as geography.
Okay, okay.
Out
Instead of geography, you started with environment.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. That videos are actually from environment only, ma'am. But instead, my autotype was problem, so it went to geography.
Okay, okay. Right.
Yes, ma'am.
No problem.
Yeah, ma'am.
We'll discuss that. Right, ma'am. Okay, children. Thank you. We'll meet tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.